You know that one person at school, at college, at work who just gets under your skin and annoys the living shit out of you? Everything they do, the attitude, the way they speak, the way they breathe, just annoys every cell of your being. I had a person like this when I was a child, when I was a teenager at school at Lyceum, and then it was like quiet up until the recent days when I met someone who actually triggered me so much that now when I'm self-aware, I'm like, wait a sec, I gotta figure it out because I'm a grown person, I'm an adult, I'm responsible for my emotions, and I need to figure out why this person makes me feel this way. So I had this person at work, and the way they communicated to me felt like an attack. You know, it felt like everything I did is not good, like it's worthless, it's bad. They questioned every decision that I made. Just to give you a little bit of a context, I have a creative job and I have certain decisions to make during the process. And basically, that person triggered my childhood wound, as it turned out. Of course, they did. You see, the truth is, I was a creative person since childhood. I was drawing something, I was creating some stuff. I just love the process. I feel like many kids, really so many kids were creative. Many of us, we were creative. We were creating some stuff, we were drawing, we were like, building something, and we felt so proud of it, right? And I feel like there is a chance that some of you face this as well, that your parents, your caregivers did not validate what you did. For example, how it was in my life is that I used to be so proud that I drew something like very complicated, like a bird or an animal, and I was so proud. I would like run to my dad and show, Dad, look, I did this. I drew this beautiful drawing. He would just look like, mm, and that's it. I didn't get the excitement that I was expecting as a kid. I really wanted this like admiration, this, how parents usually cheer their children up, like, wow, you did a great job. Yes, I'm so proud of you. I love you, and these kind of things. My parents were quite cold and strict, and all I could get is, and that felt like, what I did is actually not important. What I did is not worthy. What I did is not good. What I did is, or made, whatever, is just not worth the attention, the love, and the appreciation, and it's just that I never felt like my creative endeavors were worth of something. Of course, I did struggle with my creativity at the university. I did struggle with unpacking that creativity because I learned back in childhood that my creativity is not worth a penny. Like, it's just not good, you know? And we have this person, a male figure, come into my life so many years after, questioning every decision that I made, questioning my work, questioning basically, every single step. And I was like, it was so hard for me. Like, I was actually triggered. I was actually triggered. I was so anxious. I've got this, fashions of imposter syndrome. And yeah, it just felt like it was so difficult for me to deal with. So I was like, okay, I stepped back. I took responsibility on myself and I asked myself, what is this person touches in me that still hurts? I literally asked this question. I did the meditation, did the breath work just to calm myself down because I was really triggered. I was really hurting. And then I asked myself this question, like, what does this person actually touches in me that hurts? And I figured out that it's actually, the relationship with my dad, where I wasn't like validated for my creativity, for my art, for literally myself, because things that we do, things that we draw, things that we create, things that we designed, all of this is our inner world. And those people who feel deeply this world, those people who express themselves through some form of art, it's very important for them to be validated. It's like validation in, like, in general, is it's one of the most it's one of the most common values, especially like if we do the public speaking and this kind of stuff. Like we need to be validated, you know. Yes, it comes from trauma, yes, yes, and yes, but it's not like one way thing. We also bring value to the table, you know, and then we get validated, right? So it's not just, you know, we get validation because we want to be validated. No, there was actually a nice video on YouTube I saw how to validate yourself. I can't remember who exactly filmed it, but I feel like, but I watched it and it was really, really helpful how to validate yourself so that you don't seek validation on the outside. Anyways, I figured that this person touched the old wound. So it was one trigger. Another part, another like 50% of why it was hurting me is because that person, they speak their mind. Sometimes I feel like their questions or their like concerns were just, they didn't make any sense to me. And I felt like, my God, why are you speaking? Why are you talking before actually double checking things, before actually making an effort to understand things, you know? And I was so annoyed at them. Like, why are you doing this? You know, like, what the heck, dude? Do some thinking, you know? Can't you see? It was triggering. I figured that he touched another wound, which is me being afraid to speak my mind. Now, where is this coming from? So, again, hello, childhood. In my family, we had this thing that if you sit at a table with a family, like with your parents, with grown ups, you don't talk. And you know, I was a kid, I wanted to talk. Of course, I wanted to participate in the conversation because I'm an equal member of a family. I want to adapt to a conversation, you know? And they used to, and whenever I try to speak my mind, right, they would look at me, they would make some fun of me, would just literally like dismiss with their behavior everything I said and made me feel insecure. And after they would say, just make sure your plate is empty, you finish your dinner, and you're free to go. And that is the time, that was times, actually multiple times, when I figured that, you know, whatever I have to say is not valid. Whatever I have to say is not important. Whatever I have to say doesn't matter. Whatever I have to say is not worthy of attention. Imagine, guys, how these little things when we were kids influence our adulthood. And even now, so many years later, like I don't know, 15, 20 years later, I feel like guys, trust me, I struggle to speak. Every freaking time I struggle to speak. Like whenever we're in the team, I have no problem speaking to the camera because I'm just basically speaking to the green dot out there or just to my face, you know, literally seeing myself. So I have no problem with that. I'm not gonna judge myself, you know. But whenever I'm in the team, I always like think twice before actually speaking. And very often I ended up being silent. Very often I ended up being silent because I believe that what I'm about to say is just not worthy. You know, it's not important. Or I think that I'll bring this up later somehow. Same, it comes to the relationships. Like, I struggle to speak my mind. I really struggle to communicate what's bothering me, but I feel like it's also ties to another, like fear, to another wound. Fear of rejection, and but okay, let's not dive there. So I feel like this person, you know, first of all, they criticize my work. Second of all, they question my value, and they were speaking their mind whilst I really had difficulties with communicating things that I think, things that I think could actually, you know, bring value to other people. But because I'm afraid that I won't be understood, I will be dismissed in some way. Of course, I will not, because we're all adults now, right? But still, somewhere deep inside, it lives within me and it hurts. Turns out it hurts. Um, I feel like it does require reframing, guys. Like, I feel like, you know, the fastest way to actually heal anything, and I feel like it's the method that I would like to really work in as a therapist in the future, hopefully, is radical forgiveness. Because it's the method that allows you, without digging, spending years and tons of money for therapy, um, to resolve the issue. But it also requires you to have a broader perspective on life, to open yourself to a bigger picture that this life actually is. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's definitely something that works, and it did work for me. Also, Something that helps is to talk to your inner child. You can do the chair practice. You can put a chair in front of yourself. Imagine your inner child and imagine like speaking to them, with love and care, and just, tell your inner child that you're always here for them. You're always gonna support them, that you love them, and that all of that happened back in the days doesn't matter anymore. I mean, it's still valid and it is there, but it doesn't have to influence your adulthood anymore, because you can become a parent for your inner child now. You can reparent yourself. Basically, you can give that all validation, love, and care for them right now. So it's an absolutely beautiful technique. Also, an amazing little trick is to put a photo of your 5, 6, 7, 8 years old self as a wallpaper on your phone. And whenever you see the picture of yourself, mentally send them love, because they do need it. Okay, they do need love from you. Yeah, if you find this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. I have a new video out every Wednesday, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.